This is Uncouth Tangents. I am your host, Dove.
And I'm B.
Welcome to the show.
Woo woo! So, I don't know how to start this.
Usually talking is involved.
You don't have to do that. I'm done. Just end the episode right now.
Why?
Whoever's editing this. Oh, it's me. Oh, I can end this right now. Anytime I want.
You can't. You cannot.
The music's coming on already.
That's getting cut out anyway, so
Nope.
it doesn't even matter. So
That's what you think.
we are started.
Yes, we are.
Why is your finger on the button?
I don't know.
Get off of the
I don't know.
button.
It gives me power.
Gives you power. I'll show you power.
Show me all the tiny
I'll
things.
show you power. No, but I did want to tell you that I'm probably dying. And I think that I will be probably leaving the show soon.
Wait, that happens to everybody.
Because of my recent happenings.
Wait, what happened?
On the reservation. So I recently went down south to where my tribe is, and we had our ceremonies. Where some people would call them a powwow, but it wasn't really a powwow. It's called
The gathering of juggalos.
I'll kick your ass good. No. So it's called a green corn ceremony.
Oh, that's much nicer.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. And so it's basically like a big family reunion. And so there's a lot of traditional things that we do while we're there. It was pretty awesome.
So what makes it different than a powwow?
A powwow is the public portion of it.
Oh, okay.
So you would have the ceremonies it's a week long. So the ceremony is Monday through Friday while the sun is up. And then at sundown, you can begin the public part where you invite other people in and you teach them about the traditions and things like that. So that's up to the specific tribe's discretion, I guess, or if they want to open it up to the public. So mine did do that a few years back, but then they decided that it's a lot of work to do that, to take care of your family gathering and then also to roll that into a public gathering, because then you have to worry about vendors.
Drunk tourists.
Actually, they don't allow alcohol on the land at all.
People pregame that, so you're gonna get drunk before we head out to the
to the reservation. Well, maybe, but it's a lot to manage, and so some tribes just won't do it, and other tribes may only do the powwows.
That's
where it's open to the public, because you can make money off of it, and other people can make money if they set up as a vendor. Mm-hmm. So that's the difference between the two. And so while I'm there, I learned a lot of things, keeping traditions and whatnot. And by the way, my chief is like the most badass chief that there was. There's this one point of the evening where we were inside one of the houses. We were gathering inside there. Mm-hmm. And we have teepees. Well, wait, I'm backtrack on that. We have houses, not teepees. So a lot of people think that, oh, did you sleep in a teepee or something like that? It's like, no, it's very modern. So we have
cell phones. Thank you.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so he's like super badass. So at one point during the evening, a bug gets let into the house. And so the women are kind of not screaming, but we're saying, oh, it was a huge bug.
What kind of bug?
And it was like a huge flying thing, like a wasp of some sort.
Okay.
And it was kind of
something
big.
That'll sting you, yeah.
It's something that'll sting. Yeah. Right. And so we're freaking out. We're like, oh no, close the door. You let a wasp inside the house. And so without saying anything, he reaches out, grabs it midair, and in the next motion throws it outside. So like this one motion of grabbing a bug and tossing it outside and then just leaves and says nothing. It's like super badass.
I just like to imagine he's like, there's a bug in here. I was just doing like he was just exercising. Like it just happened to get caught. And that was my yoga techniques. I wasn't even doing anything.
Either way, it was super cool.
Wait, what were you leading up to?
Oh, right. And so while I was there, they have all of these cats on the reservation. So there's about 25 cats at this point. And they're wild cats because they were all strays. And then the strays will have babies and, you know, hence more babies. There's actually an entire house that is a stray cat house. So
it's just nothing but cats.
It's where the cats came in at. It's where they were breeding. But now they've moved closer to the other houses because...
Are they like roaches? They're like infesting like different other houses.
Well, someone decided to feed them. And so now they all hang out outside kind of in the open, which is great for the land because now there are no snakes and there are no frogs to harass and bother people. Mostly the snakes.
But there's like cat turds everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere.
No litter box. They just go wherever they please.
The world is their litter box.
I mean, that's true of dogs, but I mean...
Yeah, but they are pretty good at mostly keeping it around the perimeter. Mm-hmm. So it won't...
That's kind of them.
Yeah, it won't be right in the middle of the walkway. Mm-hmm. But they're also cats, so they're going to bury it.
Do they bury their poop? Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they will dig a hole, then they'll poop in it, then they'll cover it up.
This is very informative. I learned so much today.
So unlike dogs, you're unlikely to have a huge, you know, log of cat turd on your shoe or your moccasin, because some wear moccasins.
So I just imagine that somebody gets like a burlap sack, grabs a bunch of cat poop, and then lights it in front of somebody's house as a prank, and then they just ring the doorbell. And then the chief comes out, oh, a fire. These moccasins will take care of that, and just start stepping on it.
I actually would like to do that where I live now for all the people that have been stealing my packages.
Oh, I was about to say stealing your cat turds?
I want to have a box that's right outside my door that has a mailing address on it. It looks like a package that has come to my door, but inside it's just going to be filled with cat turds and glitter and something explosive that's going to like blow the glitter out in the smell of the cat turds when they open up the box.
I feel like this is going to get in somebody's eye and they're going to sue you. Well, no.
You know what?
You stole the package. Yeah. That was meant for me.
That was meant for me.
Well, thank God you intercepted it.
Yeah. My claim will hold up in court. That was meant for me.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to get countersued for stealing my package.
Except now we have recorded proof that you were planning this.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Either way, opening up someone else's mail, federal offense. So either way. So not my fault, even if I say it. This is a warning. Stop stealing my packages. So on the reservation, tons of cats. There are about 25. But one thing that I didn't realize is even the kittens are very vicious. So I tried to feed one by hand. I gave them.
That's brave.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty brave down there. So I say it's a little kitten.
Oh, I'm pretty brave down there. I ran from this wasp.
Yeah, like that. That wasp, I was out of there. But the baby kittens, I mean, they're super cute. They have like, you know, the little tiny kitten mouths, and they're always, you know,
once again, something tiny.
I know. There's a tiny cat, and I wanted to give it a tiny piece of fish. But when I did, the kitten couldn't tell the difference between the fish and my finger. And so as it ate the fish and I tried to pull away, it reached forward, grabbed my fingers, and it bit right through my finger.
On a full moon, you're going to become a cat.
There's more.
Okay.
So after getting bit by the cat, I had to dig up potatoes. Only after I dug in the dirt with my cat scratch or my cat bite did I realize that I could have used gloves. And so now there's all this dirt.
I just like this idea that this person from the city is digging with their hands, and all the people who actually live there are like, what are you doing? Like, there's gloves like right there.
It was a little bit of what it was. They said, well, why didn't you use gloves? I said, well, the person that showed me didn't have on gloves. I was just doing what I was shown. So getting the dirt in the bite wouldn't have been as bad. So that part was fine. But I didn't realize that there were tons of ant nests
Oh
underneath the
my gosh.
potatoes. So I got bit up pretty badly on my ankles and on my wrist. So there's another thing. So the cat bite and now ant bites. And the last thing that that happened is as I'm leaving, I feel something cold in my nostril. And I'm just like, oh man, that's weird. What's that? And I'm trying to, I breathe in like really hard,
Ooh,
like I suck
bad
in.
idea. Don't do
I
that.
suck in really hard.
You blow. You don't suck.
Well,
Stop sucking so much.
for all my training, this was the one time that I sucked instead of blowing. And so I feel this cold sensation on my nose, and I'm just kind of sucking it in because, I'm sneezing at this point, and I'm thinking snot's going to be all over, so I try to, suck it in, be even grosser. And so 30 minutes later, I blow my nose, and there's a dead gnat inside the toilet paper or the tissue. So apparently, I'm pretty sure it laid eggs in my brain. So now I've gotten the wild kitten bite, the multiple ant bites on my ankles and my wrist, and now the gnat that has probably laid eggs in my brain. So I'm probably gonna die soon. I'm gonna turn into some Jeff Goldblum-esque type of
I was about
creature.
to say, there's like 3 movies this can become. This is either Cat People, Ant-Man, or The Fly.
Yeah, see, I don't think I'll be as cool as a lot of the other superheroes. I'll just get really ugly. Like Sleepwalkers, but then there'll also be a hint of the Fly. And then there'll also be like some ant. Like I'll have a huge abdomen and a cat face. And these nasty gnat wings. So
You're like this weird sphinx.
no, I think it's weirder than that. Cat, gnat, ant.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 weird insects and then like a strange cat body.
Oh, I think I would have an insect body.
Oh, an insect body.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, multiple insects. The ant bite and the gnat in my nose that probably laid eggs. Pretty sure 2 against the 1, I'll have an insect body.
You did get bit by a cat, though.
That's true. So maybe I'll just have fur all over my huge abdomen, my huge thorax.
Hilariously fuzzy. Also tiny, because everything that attacked you was tiny.
So I'll just start.
Your dream come true.
No, I didn't want to be tiny. Well, I actually am a tiny woman already. But I didn't want to be that tiny. So I'm just going to shrivel up into this weird ant-like cat gnat creature.
Hey, cool.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to die soon.
Okay. Well, that sounds good.
Well, thank you. Thanks for that.
No problem. What else happened down there?
Well, also, I wanted to bring up something that was a bit controversial to some.
Ooh, controversial. We haven't had a controversial topic in a long time. Actually, I don't think we talk about any controversies.
Controversies?
Controversies.
Right, so while I was down there, I also learned how to pluck a chicken. And so the chicken was taken from the meat section, from the meat chicken.
From the grocery store?
Was taken from
the Whole Foods market?
Well, they have these chickens on the reservation, and so it was taken from, the meat hen section, and it was suffocated. The head was cut, and then it was plucked. Okay. Just like how it's done in...
Like a banana.
Well, how it's done in most cultures that hunt off of the land and, eat the meat that they hunt and things like that. And so I posted this picture along with other pictures of my adventures on the reservation on my Facebook page. And so I had this one vegan friend. Well, I was a vegetarian for 11 years, and then I became a pescatarian about 3 years ago. And so I guess I'm used to... I don't know, because I've never been one of those people that would impose my views or my lifestyle onto other people.
Yeah.
Yet I watched a lot of vegans do this. Not all of them, but I have watched...
it's all of them.
Well, I have watched a lot of vegans do this, or really be appalled at other people that ate meat. And I've also watched some meat eaters impose their views.
They're just as bad, in my opinion. Like
some
specifically carnivorous guys who are like, no, you got to put bacon on everything.
Well, some of them. So I've watched both ends of the spectrum of like hardcore vegans and hardcore meat eaters.
Meatitarians.
Right. Kind of bash the other groups. And so I'm kind of not really sitting in the middle. I guess technically I am as a vegetarian or a pescatarian now, because I don't eat red meats, but I'm also not a vegan. So anyway, this one vegan friend that I have on Facebook saw the picture, and she made a post.
What picture?
The picture of me plucking the chicken.
Oh yeah, because you found it like that.
Exactly. Right. And so she makes a post about it, not to me, but a post about it saying, something like she didn't appreciate dead animals showing up in her news feed or anything like that. And then inside the comments, more deeper into it, then she starts to sound as if she's getting more personal about me, saying that, oh, if you claim to be an animal lover and you claim to be a spiritual person, why would you commit such a gross act like that? You probably helped to kill it also. And I lost a lot of respect for this person. Yet, I don't want to start an argument with my friend, is how she ended the first section.
My eyes are rolling so hard at everything she's doing.
Wait a second.
You can't see this on the podcast, but I'm rolling hard.
And then she kind of ends it in another, she makes another comment because someone, one of her friends comments and says, oh, wow, that's brutal. And then she says, yeah, and so the worst part is that this person is just such a hypocrite. And
she's saying that?
Yeah, she's saying that about me, not to me, but about me. And so I say, okay, this sounds a lot like she's talking about me and this post that I made. And so instead of me, commenting on her comments and having a public altercation with her,
and all that flame war,
or disagreement, I send her a message, and I say, it sounds like the post that you put up is in reference to the picture that I posted. And she says, yep.
Oh, I would love it if somebody
YEP
else...
period.
I would love it if somebody else was like, oh, I'm sorry I've been posting all these pictures. I'll knock it off. Like, it was like not even you.
Yeah, that would have been, but...
I got no beef with you.
Right.
Literally.
But the fact that she was saying things about claims to be an animal lover, which I've never claimed anywhere.
It says in your bio.
Oh, it doesn't say it there. Not to say that
I,
dislike animals or something like that, but I
hate the fuck out of animals.
At the degree and magnetism that she adores and loves animals, I've never said anything like that. I understand the circle of life. Most of my friends are
Did you
meat
really
eaters.
learn that from The Lion King?
I did. That was the one thing that I learned. Everything is a circle. The antelopes eat the grass. The lions died on the grass. It's a fucking circle.
Well, I don't know. That was more of like a weird trapezoid you kind of made.
Well, damn it. You get what I'm trying to say. So that's the one thing I took away from The Lion King. And so, anyway, in this message,
I just took away from The Lion King that hyenas are really bad at being managers of the land because everything went immediately to shit. Like, as soon as they went to power.
In that film, I'm pretty sure in the wild, they do okay for themselves.
Lion King was a documentary.
Documentary. Okay. So she says in her message after I say, sounds like you're speaking about me. And I promise you, the way that I wrote is the way that I am speaking to you now. It wasn't in a way of being aggressive, like, oh, that post about me, bitch. Like, it wasn't anything like that.
I would have preferred that.
It was truly coming from a place of not even being argumentative, but simply wanting to have a conversation about it. And so
that would be the adult thing to do.
Well, that was what I was doing because I'm a fucking adult. And so,
I'm a fucking adult.
I'm a fucking adult. Fuck you. Yeah. So after she says, yep, in reference to all of her posts being about me, I said, okay, well, I just want to talk about this privately and not publicly, feel free that if you have a disagreement with anything that I'm doing to send me a message directly. You don't have to post about me, talk to me. And so she's like, yeah, I probably, shouldn't have said anything like that on my post, but it really did piss me off. And I was like, okay, well, what's pissing you off? The part that I am practicing my culture and that a lot of cultures actually hunt and also gather their food. And she's like, no, the fact that you posted it publicly on social media. I was like, okay, well, it wasn't necessarily across all the social media. And also, my Facebook page isn't public. It's just my friends.
So she's just angry that you proclaimed you liked, or I don't even know what it is.
It sounds like it was coming from more of an emotional place of, after thinking about it, it seemed like she thought that she knew me. And it turned out that I will pluck a chicken.
Sorry, that sounds way dirtier than I expected. I'll pluck you, bitch.
Right. So it sounds like, that she thought that her and I were just the same, because in a message prior to that, she was saying, oh, we're kindred spirits and, we're so much alike and everything. And I felt like I really had a good connection with her. Mm-hmm. But then after, her saying that she lost a lot of respect for me for posting it to social media, I wasn't showing, the head getting cut off, because I didn't cut the head off. And so she was also saying that, oh, she probably participated in cutting the head off too. So I was like, okay, well, now you're just bashing my character.
Yeah.
It isn't anything bad that I've done. And she said, oh, I don't think you're a bad person. I'm just really pissed off that you posted that on social media.
No, she thinks you're a bad person.
Well, because, and she said, I don't think you're a bad person, after I said, this is my culture. So I get her point to a certain degree, that, okay, she didn't want to see something
in her feed
and in her news, which I thought, in my defense, I thought that when I picked these pictures to be put up on Facebook, you have the option of picture 1, picture 2, picture 3. I thought it will all stay in order. And so I thought that it would keep the number order that I picked the pictures. But apparently you told me that whichever ones...
Yeah, well, it kind of singled it out because that was one getting the most comments on. So Facebook was like, a lot of people are talking about this image. Would care to take a look?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because I didn't even think anything was wrong about it.
It's fine. The goriest part is that there's droplets of blood on your dress.
Yeah, which happens all the fucking time with me doing various other activities, so I didn't think nothing of it. Yeah.
Aqua Zumba.
Wing Chun. Could have been any number of my activities. But the fact that there was a chicken neck kind of bobbling around with some blood bits on it, most likely it came from the chicken. But either way, so yeah, I started to get kind of upset about that whole thing, because we just ended it as, after I said my page isn't public, my page is to my friends and those that follow me. And she's like, well, yeah, you can post whatever you want on your page because it is your page. So
This is America, damn it.
Well, yeah. And she's like, I'll just unfollow you. I was like, okay. So the one picture out of these, 5 years that we've been friends on Facebook. So I think I
just think that's really dumb. And I don't know. There's something about how this is such a blanket statement. I understand that. But I would say almost all vegans that I have met have these unrealistic, high standard views that they want to impose on people. And it's just not fair to do that. I understand what you think is a holistic mission to you have to save these animals and all this stuff. But I mean, there's so much more that goes into that. Are you going to tell a mother who has to work 2 or 3 jobs to support all of her children that she has to find only the freshest Whole Foods ingredients to feed her children with? That's not going to be possible. And there's some things that you can't control. And good for you that you can afford to live this lifestyle of just nothing but whole organic foods or whatever. If you want to be vegan and not eat anything made by an animal or whatever, it's such a privileged way to look at things, and to want to impose that on other people is so wrongheaded.
And it is so interesting, too, that I was called a hypocrite, yet a lot of people have been saying that vegetables have a similar life cycle of all other living things. Like a seed has to germinate the plants, and then it grows, which animals grow, people grow, and then if you cut it, some of the plants have a reaction to defend themselves. So they have this life within them. It may not be the same as an animal because they're not moving around and they're not making sounds, and it's not going to be the same as a human, of course, but it is something that does show that it has a feeling of some sort, and it doesn't appreciate being cut or boiled or burned or all these things that can happen to plants.
Well, nothing wants to die, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. Which would say that there is some type of life force within it. It may not be the exact same type of life force, but there is a life force in it. And so if you want to say that someone is a hypocrite, now I will say that that is probably me being a hypocrite for plucking a chicken and then not eating it because I'm a vegetarian. So that part could possibly
that's the weird
be...
twist in the story. I don't know. I've lost all respect for you. As an omnivore, I've lost all respect for you.
As she has already at this point, anyway.
No, but I totally identify with vegetarians, and like there is like a problem with like meat and everything. What
do you mean, a problem with meat?
If you go into a grocery store and you just see like all the racks of like meat, and like it's just all there. Like,
do you mean the quality of meat?
No, I just mean the mass amount. Like,
the mass amount. Well,
the amount of meat that's just there, and nobody's buying it, and like meat only stays good for a certain amount of time before it goes to the freezer, and then you get freezer burned meat, and then it's just like, dude, like we're just so mass production on that.
Yeah, a lot of that meat gets tossed out.
Yeah, and for what? Like an animal had to die for that. So like I was vegetarian for, I want to say, a solid 3 years. And then I unfortunately had to come off of it because I realized like biologically my chemistry in my body just needs meat. Because
you get fangs, bro.
I know. Well, I found out like I was super sick those 3 years. I was constantly getting colds. Like I couldn't hold a candle when it came to the winter. Like I would just constantly be out because I was getting hit by everything. As soon as I started eating meat again, my immune system skyrocketed, and like during peak flu season, I was totally fine.
Because you were patient zero.
Yeah, I am the zombie king after all.
That's so interesting that you had that effect, because with me becoming a vegetarian, and I started when I was 18. When I started, it's not like a fucking course, but you know, like when I changed my lifestyle.
Vegetarian 101.
When I changed my lifestyle, I was 18, and I had the opposite effect.
Interesting.
Yeah, like my body felt a lot stronger, and I didn't get sick as much. And any cuts or bruises that I would get, they would heal really fast. And
so you essentially became Wolverine.
Slightly. And also on a spiritual level, it allowed me to tap into that other side of myself, that spiritual side of myself, a lot quicker. Having not eating meat, because they say something that too much meat kind of weighs you down, and it weighs the spirit down.
All those chicken McNuggets really weigh me down.
Yeah, exactly. So yet I made the decision to switch over to adding fish into my diet because I felt that I was lacking protein. So I wanted to grow my hair out, you know, really glossy and long and strong and everything like that. And so before I researched all of the vegetables and the beans that could give you protein, such as chickpeas. You can't eat a lot of chickpeas, though.
You can't.
Oh, no. I'm saying anybody can, but...
You just mix them up in different ways.
No, the amount of farts that come out from eating chickpeas...
That just means you're healthy. You're a healthy girl.
It's the same as jackfruit.
Yeah.
You cannot have a lot of that.
I don't know why. I'm just always highly amused with any girl that can just fart and just like really live with it. And just yep, this happened.
You give me about 2 seconds. I'll show you something to live with.
Excellent.
Right. And so before I learned that you could get protein from, or high amounts of protein from certain vegetables, I switched over to eating fish. And then I found out that I loved it so much. like salmon.
I was with you that first week. We were just supposed to introduce it slowly into your body.
I don't know what happened.
Fish sauce and fish oils.
Oh,
it was supposed to be slow. And then you had like one tiny bit of like a salmon. You're like, fuck it. All the salmon.
Yeah, I had 3 helpings of fish that day. And I haven't stopped since. So, yeah. It's so... I don't know the fucking point I was making by talking about my interesting lifestyle, quote unquote interesting.
Well, you started at Vegetarianism 101, and then you just started microwaving fish in the office microwave.
Gross. That's disgusting.
You really just took that?
Well, you troll me all the time, so I was just going to say to whatever you said until I remembered what I was talking about. But either way, long story short, I just thought it was, like really fucked up that I would be bashed so harshly for something that, who doesn't eat chicken or who hasn't eaten chicken at some point?
Some people are raised gold star vegans. Like their parents didn't feed them any meat or anything like that. And I don't know. Like I feel like those kids are probably malnourished. But there is a movie recently. Once again, sorry, I'm talking about movies. Movie recently came out this year called Raw. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I've been trying like that movie, actually.
I've been trying to find a place where I could watch it.
It's probably not out yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But if you can find it, I liked it. It has some flaws with the movie, but the things that I really
you would always say, gosh, we're going to make a segment... B bashes films.
B bash. I actually kind of like that.
Every film that you watch.
I'm very picky with my movies.
We'll save it for the next one.
Okay. Duly noted.
You have your B bash section.
I just rant about movies I hate so much.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll do a live commentary on Batman v Superman.
Oh man! All right.
No, that movie's way too long. Not doing that.
We'll see.
Speaking of things that are too long, so we want to kind of plug a power hour that we're going to be starting to do around episode 10. No, it is episode 10.
Yeah, episode 10.
So get yourselves ready, and you can power hour along with us. And for those that don't know what it is, it's essentially we will be...
Booze! Bring your booze and your booze cup. And bring your booze wife and your booze kids.
Oh, my booze kids. Stupid wiener booze kids.
And listen along to the podcast.
So essentially we'll be drinking every minute, take about a sip or so, and then we'll be doing a regular podcast, but you can kind of drink along with us. It'll be like a speak and spell, but with drinking.
Are you going to last this whole hour?
No, I'm probably going to be like 2 minutes in and I'm done.
I've been known
You have to carry the whole show by yourself.
I've been known to drink a lot of people under the table.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I can drink you over the table.
Okay.
Is that how that works? Who can get drunk the fastest? Me.
Oh, no. That's so cheating. Well, you know what? Maybe it's not cheating. Because if we can say, who's going to last the longest, we all know the answer to that. Put your votes in.
Who's going to last the longest? That is such an easy bet.
Yeah, the same as who can get drunk faster. Also an easy bet.
It's the same bet.
Is it? I don't know. It isn't. Anyways,
we'll figure out how booking and gambling works later.
Stay tuned for episode 10, but still check us out next week.
You can just skip around if you want to.
No, goddamn it. You're going to listen to all these
chronological order. How are you going to get these jokes? These running gags?
You're going to get the same shit that we talk about every week.
Cockroaches.
Continuously. All right, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
See you at episode 10. No. 9.
What?
9.
What episode is this? Is 9.
Yeah, no, this is 8.
This is 8?
Goodbye.
Bye.
So don't forget to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And we're on Twitter at Uncouth Tangents. You can like us on Facebook, and we're on YouTube as well, where you can find our older episodes.
Thanks for listening to the show. See you next time.
Bye.